The first time Commander Jax Merrow saw the Giantess of Varkesh Prime, she stood taller than a dropship and wore power-etched armor that looked like it had been forged from a mountain spine. Her name was Koreth Valuan, champion of the Varkesh clans, undefeated in 4-7 ritual wars. Entire civilizations had signed peace accords simply because she arrived in their system. Gravity bent around her species differently. Their dense musculature and reinforced skeletal lattice made them walking siege engines. And now she was on the deck of a neutral trade station, roaring with laughter as she challenged anyone, to face her in ceremonial combat. No one moved. Jax didn't either. He was a human systems engineer, recently contracted to the station after Earth's entry into the Galactic Compact. He had no intention of fighting a living legend twice his height. Unfortunately, fate didn't consult intentions. It happened later that cycle, after the formalities, after the boasting, after the crowds dispersed. Jax was in the auxiliary engine bay, calibrating a gravitic stabilizer that should have been standard but, like most alien tech, had been overdesigned to the point of fragility. The bay trembled as something massive approached. Then the lights dimmed. Then a shadow fell over him. He turned slowly. Koreth Valuan filled the doorway. Up close, she was terrifying in a quieter way. Her armor was removed, revealing skin patterned like obsidian marble, traced with faintly glowing veins, bioreactive conduits that channeled energy through her body. Her eyes, molten gold, studied him with open curiosity. "You are human," she said. Her voice was deep, resonant, vibrating through the deck plates. "Yes," Jax replied carefully. "And you're blocking my exit." She huffed, something close to amusement. "You are small, yet you do not tremble." "I do," Jax said honestly. "I just learned how to hide it." That earned a short, surprised laugh. Koreth leaned against the bulkhead, folding her massive arms. "The station master says humans survive by adaptation, not strength. I wished to observe this." "Happy to be a case study," Jax muttered. She watched him work for a long moment, silent. Then she said, almost casually, "On Varkesh, we test compatibility through shared endurance." Jax paused. "I'm afraid to ask what that means." "It means," she said, eyes narrowing thoughtfully, "that I will remain here with you for one rest cycle." That was how Jax Merrow, human engineer, accidentally agreed to spend the night with the most dangerous warrior in the galaxy. The cycle passed without combat. They talked. About worlds. About gravity differences. About how humans compensated for fragility with redundancy and stubborn creativity. Jax explained how human muscles relied on efficiency rather than brute force, how their nervous systems were unusually adaptable. Koreth listened intently. "Your species should be extinct," she said at one point. "You break easily." "True," Jax replied. "But we heal fast. And we learn faster." When the station lights shifted to rest mode, Koreth surprised him by sitting, carefully, on the deck beside him, massive form coiled in on itself. "You are calming," she said, as if the realization confused her. "People tell me that a lot," Jax said. No one had ever told him that. The night ended without spectacle, without conquest, without the kind of story bards would exaggerate. Just two beings sharing space. And that was precisely why it changed everything. The next morning, the alarms began. Jax woke to the sound of heavy impacts, metal buckling, systems screaming. He scrambled upright, heart pounding. Koreth was on her knees. Not kneeling. Collapsed. Her massive hands pressed into the deck as if the station itself were the only thing keeping her upright. Her breathing was ragged, uneven. The glowing veins beneath her skin flickered erratically.
"Kareth!" Jax shouted.
"What's wrong?"
She tried to stand. Failed.
Shock rippled through the station as security forces rushed in, weapons raised in panic.
"The Giantess is down."
"Impossible. Vakesh physiology is self-stabilizing." Medical drones swarmed, scanning, chirping in confusion.
Jax pushed through them. "Move. Let me see her."
A Vakesh medic snarled at him. "Stand back, human.
This is beyond you."
But Karetha's eyes found Jax's. "Human," she rasped. "I cannot move." That single sentence terrified the galaxy. Hours passed. Alien doctors argued in clipped, frantic tones.
Scans showed no injury, no toxin, no neural disruption.
Her muscles were intact, her energy reserves full. Yet her strength was gone, locked behind some invisible barrier. "The champion has been suppressed," one whispered.
"By what?" another demanded. No one had an answer.
Except Jax. Slowly, reluctantly, he spoke.
"What if it's not damage?
What if it's regulation?"
They stared at him.
"Humans," Jax continued, "constantly regulate ourselves. We suppress adrenaline, muscle output, pain response. It's how we survive in variable environments. Last night, she synced with my neural rhythms."
The room went silent.
"That is impossible," the lead medic said.
Jax swallowed.
"So is the strongest being in the galaxy unable to stand." He approached Kareth carefully and placed his hand against her forearm. The glowing veins steadied, dimming slightly. "Your body learned something new," he said gently. "You learned restraint."
Karetha's breath shuddered. "I feel heavy, as if the world presses back."
"That's what it's like for us," Jax said softly. "All the time."
Recovery took days.
With Jax's guidance, Kareth relearned how to access her strength, selectively. No longer an endless flood, but a controlled current.
She would never again shatter a city by accident. She could walk among others without fear. The Vakesh elders were shaken.
"The human has altered her," they said in hushed tones. "Not through force, but through presence." Kareth, once defined solely by might, now understood something deeper.
Power without control was noise. Control was purpose.
Before she departed the station, she stood before Jax, fully restored, but changed. "You brought me low," she said, not accusing. "Reverent." "I never touched you," Jax replied. "You showed me how to stop," she said. "No enemy has ever done that." She knelt, an act that stunned every witness. "Where I go," Kareth Valuan declared, "I will carry this lesson. The galaxy will know, humans do not conquer by strength alone." She reached out, carefully, and rested 2 fingers against Jax's chest, a Vakesh gesture of binding respect.
"You are small," she said again.
Then she smiled. "And you are dangerous in ways we do not yet understand." As her ship departed, news spread across the stars. The mightiest giantess had been brought low by a human, and the galaxy, for the first time, truly began to fear and respect humanity.